Golf Yankee Juliet uniform. Reporting contraband seized.
Understood. Break off patrol. Head back to base.
Товарищ, HMS Conqueror нарушил радиомолчание.
Что? Показать расшифровку. Побыстрее! Немедленно послать в Москву! Немедленно!
We got intel from Vladivostok. It's big, Steve.
Langley seen it yet?
No. Should they?
Hell yeah, but use the network. We don't want anyone listening in.
First the British, and now the Americans. Was there anyone else you wanted to involve in our plans?
I am handling it, Valhalla. Get out. Both of you.
Your incompetence has exposed us. Now Iceberg is in jeopardy.
Doing all of this in the open was your idea.
True. It was a simple plan that any fool could have executed. And you failed.
Gentlemen, this problem is easily solved.
Traitors!
Now, don't shout. It's bad for your heart.
Hello Reformers and welcome to Phantom Doctrine. This game is brought to you by the developers of Hard West and is set in the 80s during the Cold War. It's technically an alternate history and it's amazing. So far I have been very impressed with it, and the game comes out on August 14th, so if you'd like to check it out there is a link in the description. Anyway, let's start a new game and we'll see just exactly what we're going to be doing here. So let's have a look. So we are gonna, we can't play on extended at the moment because, well, you need to, I would assume, complete one of the campaigns to be able to unlock that, or maybe it's just not unlocked in this current build that I'm playing here. Anyway, we're gonna play the regular standard storyline, and I don't exactly know what we're gonna do. For players who are new to turn-based tactical strategy games, well, it would seem like that for me most of the time, because I've played XCOM and I've played Hard West, and both of those games gave me kind of a little bit of trouble sometimes. Anyway, I am not going to do the tutorial. I've already done it, and we're going to leave all the subtitles on, and then we can select where we want to come from. So as you can see right here, you can choose between the CIA or the KGB, and they give you different code names as well. We're going to play as the CIA because that's our first choice right here, and we're going to just randomize our name a little bit here. So I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are now Raymond Carter. And it just really depends on what I'm actually going to select as our passport photo. There are many choices here, which is actually really cool. I like the amount of different selections here. Basically every single selection you could ever want, I'd say. And I think I'm gonna go for this guy. He looks like a Raymond, doesn't he? He looks like a Raymond. Anyway, let's do that. Alright, so there's a huge amount of customization as well, and you are going to be gaining additional agents as you go throughout the game. So I don't exactly know what I'm gonna do here. I think I'm just gonna, I don't even know, just kind of leave him the way he is, and let's just do average, I suppose. We need to give him some glasses though, because the Raymond on this side definitely looks like he needs, well, we do need some glasses. So this is actually exactly his color of hair. Let's actually do that, and I think it is, oh no, I was hopeful that we might get a little bit of facial hair here, but I don't think we're going to be able to from our passport photo right there. I'm going to try and match the passport photo as much as possible, even though you don't need to do that. It is not necessary. Okay, oh, desk jockey, that actually looks pretty familiar to our passport photo. So I think we're probably going to do something like that, unless I can find something a little bit better. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Nope, we're just going to go with that, and we're going to select a blue tie, a black tie. Let's go for a black tie, why not? And formal pants? Formal pants? Yes, sure, why not? That seems pretty good. No gloves. Shall we wear some gloves? Let's wear some leather gloves. That seems to be decent enough for me. And we're going to go for Oxfords, because why? Why would you not? Grey Oxford. Wow, he's very colourful, isn't he? Yes, he's a very colourful person. Cool shades, yes. We definitely want some cool shades there. Okay, now we're going to go for something a little bit more in keeping here. There's an eye patch. There is an eye patch. Okay, so I guess I'm going to have to go for the tortoise shell here. Not something I'm particularly happy with, but we'll go with it. And yeah, we also have some attachments, so you can have a cigar pipe and an earpiece, even a little bit of a scarf there, I guess. And then you can choose scars. Our passport photo does not look like he has any scars, so yeah, you can also choose some tattoos and things like that, but I don't think we can actually see them with my current setup, so I guess I'm just going to go for a skull dagger. Sounds good to me. The events you're about to see may have been buried or covered up. Those with traceable records have been marked with the specific date they occurred on. Verify at your own risk, but trust no one.
You really think this Pakistani nuclear program is legit?
Leslie's usually right about these things.
Really? Shit. I bet him $10 it wasn't.
You're a hopeless dreamer, Bolt.
Found a nice landing spot. I'll wait here until you call for evac.
Good. Keep the comms to a minimum. Our disguise is pretty thin as it is.
What if Leslie calls?
I don't think he'll be joining us on this one. He's on the move.
Alright, so welcome to Phantom Doctrine, and our agents have landed. Well, technically they arrived in a jeep, but still. Anyway, what we have to do here, there's a couple of optional objectives that you don't necessarily have to do, but it's kinda good to do. And that is to scavenge the area and acquire certain pieces of loot and all kinds of other things. So we're going to also be doing that, as well as eliminating various opposition and collecting some important documents, shall we say. So I'm going to be moving in here. We have disguises, do bear that in mind. Now, it uses a very similar system to Hard West in the way that every single character has a form of energy bar, I guess you could say, known as awareness. And when this awareness is depleted, you're no longer able to perform certain actions. And obviously, awareness is also present on the enemies. So they are also going to be, having their own amount of awareness. Anyway, as you can see here, I can take this fellow down silently, and that's exactly what we're going to do. There we go. I'm going to gain some experience from that as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to just take over one of our other agents here, and I'm actually going to be disposing of the body, because the next turn I don't want anyone knowing exactly what has happened to this guy, so we're just gonna take him away, and he's gonna disappear, and it's probably best we don't know what happened to him, is it? Anyway, my main character over here is going to be attempting to loot this little closet, and otherwise I think we're done. Now, the cool thing about this game, with the exception of the obvious, being able to infiltrate and actually perform quite a few stealth actions without being seen, is the fact that you can actually see where the enemies are going to go in the next turn. You can actually see their patrol routes, and this allows you to plan pretty effectively without having to compromise your strategies or any kind of tactics. So yeah, this is a bit of an issue here. I can't exactly move as far as I'd like at this point, so I guess I'm just going to move a little bit closer, and then we'll go over here and we will loot this. There we go. Loot collected: a bulletproof vest and Estrella. Yeah, okay. Well, that's perfectly fine. There is also Overwatch. Bear that in mind, there is Overwatch. I have 2 different weapons here, by the way. Technically, I could shoot this guy immediately. I could shoot this guy right now if I wanted to, but obviously that is then going to have the alarm be sounded, and then reinforcements are going to come in, and it's going to be absolutely awful. Now, Overwatch is dealt with very differently from previous titles like XCOM, and I think Hard West also had a bit of a different way of doing it as well, but this is selective. It's a very selective kind of Overwatch where it doesn't do it completely 360 degrees unless you're very, very close to the area. So like for example right here, it's 360 degrees, but if I were to go a little bit further, as you can see, look at this. He's no longer having any kind of vision nearby to the door. So the further you go, the more conical the line of sight, I guess you could say, for the Overwatch is. So yeah, we're not going to do any of that right now, obviously. We're just going to switch to our main agent in just a second. We're going to knock this guy out, though. Thankfully, we're wearing disguises. Do bear that in mind. We are wearing disguises, but you also have to bear in mind that certain high-ranking soldiers will know that you are a bad person. Well, you're an enemy, shall we say. Not a bad person. I don't know. Is it? Are we really bad people? Maybe. But we are knocking them out in non-lethal ways, so it's not really too bad, I guess. Anyway, let's move our other fellow over here, and we're going to dispose of that body. We do need to deal with that soldier as well, but I'm just taking it easy at the moment, making sure that we are doing things very nice, very smooth. Don't want to get any alarms just yet. Yes, I say yet, because it is going to happen eventually. Anyway, let's move over here, and we'll loot. There we go. 2 pistol suppressors and BM. I don't exactly know what BM is. Bad manners? No, let's hope it's not bad manners. Anyway, there should be... Yes, there's another very important document over there, which we're going to go and get. And do bear in mind that you can equip your various weapons with suppressors, but I don't believe at the moment I actually have that equipped, because I obviously, you know, I just have very basic equipment, and in this mission the game is attempting to teach you about the melee mechanics and things like that. So anyway, let's see if I can deal with this body. Even though technically there probably won't be anyone to really worry about this guy. I don't think there will be any patrols coming this way, but I just want to make sure. It's better to be safe rather than sorry in this case. And let me actually just make sure I'm not missing out on any documents in the area. It doesn't seem like we are, so that's fantastic. Let's move over here. And I think our main character cannot move any further either. And let's move there and then get ready to knock out the other guy. And there's bound to be a couple of documents in here as well. Have I missed any documents? There's a camera there as well, by the way, so we do want to make sure we don't get seen by that. But otherwise, I don't think there's any, with the exception of being in here and also in this room over here. I think they might be slightly random. I'm not entirely sure, because I have played through this mission once before, and they didn't seem to be in the same place, but maybe that's just me. Don't exactly know, but yeah, we're going to move in here.
I'm here.
And can I move any further? No. Alright, so now we can move closer, but obviously I don't want to move too close because that's going to expend all of our movement points, and we want to make sure that we have enough to, you know, eliminate this guy when we actually get close to him. So we're going to just move up to this guy, and thankfully, obviously because this is turn-based, you're going to have a bit of an easier time of doing stealth because they're not really going to react unless they are already in Overwatch. And we don't need to worry too much about that fellow. Alright. I'm actually unsure what I should do here. Do I want to move close to this guy? Yeah, I guess we could kind of do that. I mean, we're kind of, you know, we are in a disguise as one of them, basically, so it's kind of nice.
Yeah, me too.
Now bear in mind, every single one of these takedowns is going to consume a little bit of awareness, so if we do get into some kind of firefight, we are going to be at a bit of a disadvantage, because awareness is also going to grant you dodge chance, because it's similar to Hard West in that respect, where most shots are going to be guaranteed with the exception of the dodge, and they do it where every single attack is going to hit, with the exception of when people have a good amount of awareness. So hopefully I explained that correctly, but yeah. It's a pretty cool system in my opinion, because you never, you know, when you're playing XCOM, for example, or a similar game, and you have one of those times where you're just thinking to yourself, oh, I have a 97% chance to hit this enemy, and I'm, you know, point blank range in the enemy's face, and then you click the confirm button to attack, and then it miraculously somehow misses. And yeah, that's not going to happen in this game. It's very, very different in this game in comparison. So yeah, that's pretty cool in my opinion. Otherwise, we're just going to continue to dispose of bodies here. And we do need to make our way all the way over to this other area. And oh yeah, do bear in mind that you can disable these animations as well. You can disable them in the options menu. So if you don't want to see these guys disposing of the bodies and having the fade to black and everything, then you don't have to have that. So it is highly customizable, and you can also improve the movement speed as well by making everyone run to their locations instead of potentially walking like some NPCs might do, perhaps. But anyway, let's move through the gates towards where we need to go.
There's definitely something valuable in here.
Get rid of them before you stroll through one.
Yes, exactly. Now, there is actually... I don't have enough awareness. Yes, I don't have enough awareness. I only have 40. I need 50 to be able to do that. And this is where you can disable the laser barriers. These are the lasers right here. There's another one of these very important documents, and I suppose we're going to go around there in just a second. Let's have a look and see. Everyone has actually done their turn. I'd very much like to show you the breach mechanics, because the breach mechanics are really, really satisfying. You obviously haven't seen yet how, well, I guess the only word I can really, you know, that really comes to mind is satisfying, because literally when you go into a firefight and when you shoot something in this game, it's very impactful. It has the impact that you wouldn't expect from a strategy game, because it's one of those, I don't know, it's just far away from the action. You kind of feel far away from the action, but in this game you're very much in it, and I don't know whether that really explains it accurately enough, but you're gonna hopefully see exactly what I mean when we get there. Now let's see if I can actually take this guy out. I think we're probably in a restricted area right now, so it's nice that he's not looking at me. There we go.
I trust this is important.
Alright. Now, I don't believe we're getting experience for these, because I think they might actually be civilians, but I don't really want them to really see what I'm doing right here. Like, for example, disabling the laser barriers, for example. And it's kind of nice that our other agent over there was able to take out the, well, I guess the guard in the area, so that we could actually accomplish this feat. Because otherwise, if the laser barriers had gone off before taking him out, maybe something would have been said about it, who knows. But yes, as I was saying, the gun sounds and the satisfaction feeling you get from hearing those gun sounds go off, because they're very, very forceful. And yeah, hopefully you're going to see that relatively soon.
Yeah.
And let's pick this up. There we go. Gonna be taking a picture of those, and then we're gonna be moving through here. There's one more to get, and I think the one more is actually ahead of us. So I guess it would make sense to move out now. Alright, so we've reached the sealed off area. There is another friend over there.
Got a lot of background noise. What's up?
Nothing. Lost the tail by hopping on $1 million yacht. No big deal.
Well, we're looking for the reactor. No luck. Traces everywhere, though.
It's there, guaranteed. Keep looking.
Ah, it seems like there's a little bit of shady business going on, shall we say. Okay, so there is a guard right here. I don't really want to rush up to him just yet, because we really do not want him to start firing at us before we can actually accomplish our stealth tactics. And you're going to see exactly what's going on there in maybe a minute or so. So let's see if I can just get over here and take him out.
My skills are at your disposal.
Now bear in mind that if I had been seen, I probably would be facing a whole bunch of reinforcements. But thankfully we are accomplishing our stealth mission pretty reasonably so far. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into the little side objective area first, because I would very much like to get that done, because we're probably going to gain some kind of reward from it. And we're not going to go in here just yet, because that is obviously where we need to go for the main mission.
What's cooking?
Alright, so now this gives me an opportunity to open the door. There we go. We can see that there are 3 enemies inside. They all have 45 HP, which is absolutely fine. I don't think we should have any problems with that. And now we're going to activate our breach maneuver. So now what this breach maneuver will do, they will move into the designated area, as you can see by the little description there, and they will shoot any encountered hostiles. And it requires at least 2 agents with firing capacity. And we can also use right mouse button on enemies to lock targets. So let's do this. There you go, they have no target lock at the moment, so we are obviously going to get on that. So let's lock on to the guy on the left first, then we'll do the guy on the right. Actually, wait a minute, let's do this the other way. So let's have Canasta attack the guy on the right, and then we'll have Durand attack the guy on the left, and then we'll have Deadpan, which is our main character, attack that guy. I don't know whether this is really going to work this way, but you can also obviously say that whether you want them to use their main weapon or whether you want them to use their pistol or anything like that, so let's confirm it.
Careful. I have to do a ton of paperwork if you die.
For a second, I almost believed you were worried about us.
Now, I don't know whether you noticed, I think you did, that the amount of impact, it's crazy how much impact these weapons have, and I think the developers have done a fantastic job on actually imparting that in the game, because usually, you know, I'm gonna bring up the comparison. Obviously, XCOM, the main weapons, and indeed most of the weapons, they don't have that much impact. I mean, yes, you know, there may be some weapons that do have that impact, but these are the beginning weapons that I gain immediately. Whereas if you compare these weapons to, you know, maybe the assault rifle or something from XCOM, and I'm not saying, by the way, that XCOM is a bad game or anything like that, I'm just comparing the weapon sounds and the satisfaction feeling from it. It feels to me like this is superior in that regard. But maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just personal preference, who knows. Anyway, we now have, as you can see here, the alarm has been raised because unsilenced, unsuppressed weapons have been used. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move over to the other area, and bear in mind that we might have some enemies in this room as well. So let's be cautious. You never know what's going to happen. We're going to go on either side of the door here, and we're going to open it up, and we'll see what's inside. It seems like we just have scientists. Yeah, we don't really need to worry about these scientists, do we? No, we certainly don't. So I guess what I'm going to do is just end the turn. there may be some enemy reinforcements coming in soon as well, so let's be a bit cautious about that.
Leslie, Bolt totally owes you $10. We've got a reactor and what looks like a fission device.
Then the test is imminent. Get out of there, now.
Copy. We'll save some legwork if we jump over the wall from the roof here. Bolt?
I heard you. Activate your beacon now. I'll meet you at the LZ.
Alright, so we can select one of the available evac zones, and this is also where it becomes really, really awesome because, you know, obviously this is the beginning mission. You know, this is obviously not the tutorial mission. I've done that before, but being the first mission, obviously you're only going to have one evac zone, but I can assume that later down the line you're going to be having the choice between maybe 2, 3, 4 evac zones, which is really quite awesome in my opinion. Anyway, I don't exactly know whether I really want to call for evac right now, because there is a bit of a turn limit in regards to that. So what I want to do is I actually want to move everyone out of here. Can I not end my turn? Yes, I can actually end my turn. That's fantastic. Okay, so I'm not going to call for evac just yet, because it is going to take, as I say, a couple of turns for the evac vehicle to arrive, and I don't really want to have the evac vehicle get destroyed or, you know, anything like that. So we're gonna just make our way over here, and once we have done that, we're gonna then call for it, I think. I just want to make sure everyone's on the same turn, basically, because it seems like Deadpan is a little bit far away.
Deadpan, come in!
We're alive, Leslie.
Oh, good. All I had was static there for a minute. What happened?
The test. It didn't blow us to pieces.
Cold test then. No fissile material. But they have the technology.
They certainly do have the technology. Okay, so maybe what we should do here, I'm thinking about getting some elevation perhaps, because we might have some problems going in here, but we'll see. We'll just try it out and we'll see whether there are any reinforcements for the enemy coming. We are now going to use our evac.
Exfil incoming.
There you go. It's going to come in 4 turns. And the enemy's reinforcements are now arriving. I don't know whether that's because I used my evacuation, which maybe I should have left it a little bit longer, but I think it's okay. I think we'll reach there in 4 turns, won't we? I hope so. Alright, so let's actually just take a quick look here and see. I can't see anyone right now. This is a bit worrying. I don't see any enemies right now. Okay, well, you know what that means. You know what that means? That means we're gonna go Overwatch. We're gonna do a little bit of Overwatch here. So I'm gonna do Overwatch behind us with our main character, and then I'm actually gonna move a little bit outward here, and we're gonna use Overwatch. Maybe around here perhaps. And then we're gonna move. I don't really want to move out in the open. I feel like that's gonna be kind of bad for us. So I'm just gonna use Overwatch like so. And let's see if anything happens there. Okay, we're done. And let's see if we can find out where the enemies are gonna come from, because there they come. Okay. So at least we now know where they're coming from. They're gonna shoot us. Yeah, grazed. Nice. Okay, so that's partially due to awareness. Being grazed is obviously partially due to awareness being so high with our current character. And yeah, he's taking a little bit of damage right there. Wow, there's actually a lot of them. There's 4 of them. And that is not good. That is not a good location to be in. As you can see, he's taking a lot of damage right now. Right. I don't exactly know what we're gonna do here. I guess we could go this way. And maybe we can try and fire at some of them. Oh, we don't have enough action points for full auto. We do have enough for 1 single shot, which is going to be 10 damage. We can burst fire. Can I do anything here? Yeah, there we go. We can do a headshot, which is actually going to kill instantly, but it is going to mean that the guy will... It will cost a little bit of awareness, which is not great, but I guess we're going to do that. Ooh, grazed. Alright, well, now that we've expended a huge amount of awareness, which, yeah, I didn't really want to do, but, well, we kind of had to get a little bit of damage out, but unfortunately the enemy did get just grazed, so we only dealt a very small amount of damage, but hopefully we'll be able to do a little bit more here. And I don't really want to do another headshot, I don't have enough awareness for that anyway, and it seems like we have no targets here after all, so I guess what we're going to do is just go into Overwatch, and maybe see if I can... Oh yeah, this seems pretty good. Seems like a pretty decent target right there. Let's do that. Yeah, I'd like to move a little bit outward here, but it's kind of risky. Maybe I can move here? Oh, that would be nice. Okay, let's do that. We're gonna get a nice elevation bonus, hopefully. Alright, so let's actually see what we're gonna get here. Okay, a little bit of damage. Okay, so we can only fire in a burst. Maybe we want to use some equipment. We do have a first aid kit, so I'm probably gonna have to use that. What about a flashbang? A flashbang will affect 2 of those characters over there, which is, I'd say, pretty good. Hopefully, at least. Reduces awareness. Okay. The target's out of range. Oh, that's unfortunate. I can do it right here. That's not exactly great. Okay, probably not that then, I guess. Well, I guess this is probably the best we're gonna get, so let's try that.
I accept.
Thankfully, the enemies don't seem to do that much damage. I'm a bit worried about Deadpan at the moment because he's way out there. He certainly is way out there, but we do have that first aid kit, so hopefully that's going to help us in the next turn. I think I'm probably going to go and try and get a little bit of healing. That seems to be it for the enemies, so I am hopefully gonna now be able to use... he's got a first aid kit as well. Oh, that's fantastic. He also has a smoke grenade. Oh, that's pretty awesome. Okay, so technically I could use this first aid kit. That is going to use my attack though, which is not great. Maybe what I could do is go around here. I think that might be a little better for us. And maybe we could do a little bit of damage. That was some nice damage right there. Thankfully the guy doesn't have any more awareness, so we should be able to eliminate him, hopefully. We do have a frag grenade here, which I wouldn't mind using. That's the range? Okay, technically I could kill this guy. Let's do that.
What do you require?
Or not, as the case may be. Oh, okay. Yes. The trials and tribulations of using grenades. Okay, well, we're going to take Canasta down here and try and heal Durand. And we'll see if that helps out a little bit. Can I not use it on anyone else? I think I can use it on other people, but it seems like that is not going to work at the moment. Yeah, well, there's the evac. That's a little bit difficult for us to deal with now, isn't it? Okay, so technically I should be able to absolutely murder this guy, so I guess we'll do that. Grazed, minus 28. Well, only 28, but I think that's pretty good. I think that's okay. And now I should be able to eliminate him completely. Wow, why wasn't he standing out there before? 105 damage? That's crazy. Okay, so let's move like so. And maybe I will be able to then heal. Yes, there we go. I can now heal him. How much is it going to heal for? Oh, nice. It heals for 60. That's crazy good. Okay, so otherwise, guess we'll just go back in cover. And there's a full dodge right there. That's nice. Alright, so we are now going to just move over here to this box, and I'd like to do a little bit of Overwatch if I can, but maybe we can get a good shot on these guys. We'll see. I do need to reload this particular weapon, so I'm going to try and maybe use this. I mean, look at that, 10 damage. That is going to be enough to eliminate him, hopefully. Ooh, yeah, well, we did have a pretty high chance of that grazing, but I'm happy with where he is at the moment. I don't think we really have to worry too much about that. Okay, he does need to reload, so I think we should probably do that next turn. There's our Overwatch going off as well, and yeah, I think we actually have this in the bag now. We have worn them down, thanks to our first aid kits, of course. Oh yeah, and apparently Overwatch works multiple times per turn, but obviously only once per enemy, I would assume. So if you set up Overwatch, you're gonna have a really, really good time. Probably should have set up Overwatch with Durand as well, but obviously didn't have any ammo for my main weapon because he tends to fire a lot of shots. So anyway, I guess we just use this. And I think I'm going to move over there. It's kind of amusing how this is coming down to using pistols, isn't it? Yes. Anyway, is that the only enemy remaining? Where's the other one? Ah, there he is. He's all the way over there. What's he doing over there? That's kind of weird. Oh well. I think we should have this.
I accept.
Ooh, that was nice. Yeah, you can see exactly what I mean though about this Overwatch and about the slow motion camera and the sounds of the guns. They really do have a very satisfying effect to them. Anyway, yeah, we can now make our way out. And the evac is now compromised, unfortunately enough, but that's how it goes. Maybe I should have waited a little bit longer until I, you know, requested it. I'm pretty sure that we need to get every single member of the team over there. Should I just Yeah, we need to get every single one, I think.
My skills are at your disposal.
And we're done. There we go. A little bit rougher than I would have liked, but it appears as though the enemies are randomized, so every time you play they can come from any location. Mission complete. As you can see, we did everything very, very nicely, and we did have this one thing here, total danger increase of 30, but we did get everything else, which is pretty good. Leslie, my mentor, asked me to investigate rumors of nuclear research in Pakistan. During our incursion, we witnessed a cold test of a fission device, which means the Pakistani are at most months away from gaining nuclear capability. Somebody had to sell them the technology. Alright, so this is where we come to our base. Yes, our base is actually very cool. You can do all kinds of wonderful things here, and we will be exploring that in the next episode. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.